very much. Good afternoon to my colleagues, to the people of the territory. Good afternoon to the staff. I was very, very happy to listen to quite a bit of the testimony, sharing about Ms. Roker and all the positive things she's done in our community over the years. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a fan of pageants, but I had a niece that would drag me to everyone she wanted to participate in. So as a family member, you had to support. And I knew one year she did win the Hal Jackson Talented Teen Dejanique Lede. So as I listened to all the positive things, and you know, those type of things do have an impact, especially on the young women in our community, to show their talents and shine. So, you know, for all those that assisted with those types of things, you know, Godspeed and blessings to you. I want to speak to dealing with Ms. Roker per se, because we had a lot of conversations. Specifically, she talked about respecting your elders. And as someone that feels the importance of understanding where we came from and the knowledge and the information that our elders have, what would you suggest as a community that we could do more of, or potentially come up with or participate with more, that our young people would be more engaged with our seniors so that they could better understand from whence they came?
Well, Senator, that's a very difficult question in this generation, but you have to work with them. You have to understand where they're coming from, and you have to show them the difference. And I think what we need to do is talk to them more. You know, I see a lot of young women having children. They don't understand what motherhood is like. They want to compete with their children. You don't compete with your child. You help your child. You work with your child. You listen to your child, you know? So it's a very difficult task, and I can't really give you a sound answer because this generation is totally different.
Totally different. I could not agree with you more. Even just dealing with a teenager myself, I'm a bit traumatized. So I fully understand. And to understand, and that's why I asked the question, because I see the importance of what you said. I see the importance of even dealing with our history. You know, just reading through your bill and seeing all the myriad of things that you have done and accomplished throughout your lifetime, these are some of the reasons why I'm happy that we do resolutions. Because when we speak about how we had to go to court just to even teach our children Virgin Islands history, the legislature in itself, with all these resolutions, is history in itself, by just making sure that we remember people like yourself, to encapsulate throughout history the things that you've done and how you've impacted our community in a positive way to make sure that we are the Virgin Islanders that we are today. So for that, I definitely want to thank you. From the aspect of tourism, because I was listening to my colleagues and even learning a little bit about you and all that you've done, from the tourism aspect, from when, and this is me, because I know that tourism is a huge part of us. Do you think that some of the things that we did in the past could potentially help us in the present? What are some of the things that you might think of that might have helped propelled our tourism product back then that could potentially help us now in the present?
Well, when I was Assistant Commissioner of Tourism, and I deal with people who want to know about the Virgin Islands, we have 3 islands that's totally different. So you have to be able to know what the client wants. So if I'm promoting St. Croix, I have to promote it differently than how I promote St. Thomas or even St. John. But it depends on what your client wants. And that's what I think is lacking in tourism right now, because you do a lot of advertisement, which is great, but we have to advertise our people in the community that these people are coming to. And they have to understand us, just like how they want us to understand them. We have to make sure that they understand our culture. It's ours. And if you're coming to be with us, you have to understand us. Mr. Richardson, we became friends because when I lost part of my house, I lived at his hotel with my family for 6 weeks. And that's how I got to know him. When I need my beach cleaned up because I put signs up, take your garbage with you. They don't do it. He get his staff to come and do it. And we work together as a family. And that's what's lacking, regardless of what color you are. You know, love is love. Love has no color. Okay? I can't take the beach with me, but it's going to stay in my family. And I have 2 of them here. And they will know that my last will and testament is that beach will not be sold. It will stay in the family's name, even to the youngest one that I have here. And he's 11 years old. So it's got to stay in the family.
Well, you ingrained it in them. You setting it in stone. You making sure you holding on to your VI property. I agree with you 100%. But I don't know if I heard time, but I really want to thank you for that.
Yes,
response.
it was called.
I will wrap up because we know how the chair is. Thank you, Madam Chair, for the little additional time. And thank you, Ms. for all that you've done and continue to do on behalf of the people of this territory.
I thank you so much, Senator Heiliger.
Thank you. Good afternoon once again to my colleagues, to the people of the territory, to the testifiers. Good afternoon, Poppy Pops. I am one of the individuals that love music. My father was a musician, and in our household, it was filled with music and bands. And, you know, even as an adult, I decided myself to take a DJ class because I was so enthralled in wanting to learn and know more about DJing. And I remember it was such an eye-opener for me when I learned about beats. And I was like, oh, this is how it works. And just from having the memory of like listening to Remember the Times and just having those types of emotions of old time music and the joy that you brought to the community along with DJ Duggins, I enjoyed those moments just listening to the radio and listening to you over the years on Aisle 95. And, you know, back in the day, I was fortunate to, when I visited St. Croix, to be able to attend some of your events, which were very entertaining. We had a lot of fun back in the day. But what I want to know, when you just spoke about DJing and your DJing academy and teaching our young people, and the fact that you are correct, it's a lot easier now. You know, people could grab virtual DJ and all these different things, and everybody who claim they're DJ isn't a DJ. That's all I'm going to put extra on the record. But what do you think with your academy? What type of avenues or other things that people could use this skill for? Especially within their community, not just to say that they're going to be DJing in a nightclub or whatever. What other things do you think they could utilize it for?
I'm glad that you asked that question, because the DJ Academy is not just about learning to DJ to play in a club or to play in a party. It's about you learning to enjoy yourself while playing the music. Is a career of choice. You make a choice whether you want to elevate in the career or you just want to have a good time at home. You know, how our environment is placed right now, you have to make a choice in life of what you want to do. DJ is an outlet where you could use it for variety of stuff. Everybody cannot be a radio DJ. Everybody cannot be a club DJ. Everybody cannot be a party DJ. There are different stages in the word disc jockey or being a DJ. So I would say it's a choice that you make. One thing I always teach is whatever you put into it is what you're going to get out of it.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for that. I also wanted to touch a little bit on your sport acclimens because we heard a lot about you being a sports enthusiast and participating when you were younger, especially, and now even teaching children, even your child. What I want to know is, in our society today, do you think we need to have a little bit more focus on our sports as a way for our children to interact, physical health, a variety of things versus how it used to be back in the day? Because for me, I think through education, for example, I think we've dropped the ball a little bit when it comes to sports. What do you think we could do to help improve a lot more on that so we could see our children more involved in sports like how it was years ago?
I'm glad you touched that topic because, first of all, when we were growing up, we didn't have any video games. We used our outlets was outside our house. Kickball, basketball, tennis ball. We made baseball out of socks. Take a broomstick and we played ball. Today everything different. The kids are more into these video games.
You may continue.
They're more into the video games and stuff like that. Even talking about
I gotta go vote. I gotta go vote on this one.
Senator Fonseca, can you please mute?
So right now, today, one of the things that I touch on very importantly is high school. Our little leaguers, after little league, 30 to 15 league, there is no more. What are kids doing? We play several games a year, then it's done. We need to interact more, add more games for these kids. You know what I mean? Right now, they want us to compete in competitions, yet we only play X amount of games. Whereas different places are playing triple the amount of games, but then they want us to compete in these competitions. We used to have inter-island baseball games. We don't have it anymore. I think these are the little things that we need to implement. We need to start playing against each other more. So when you pick an all-star team, it'd be an all-star team, not just a team from St. Croix or a team from St. Thomas. Take the best and represent the Virgin Islands. That's just my point of view when it comes to sports. We are lacking more ball games for the kids to grow.
Thank you so much. I know I heard my time call, but I really appreciate you putting that on the record because I think it's an integral part of our children are growing up today, and we definitely dropped the ball, and we're going to see if we could work on trying to implement some of these things once again. Thank you, Madam Chair, for the additional time.
Thank you.
My colleague says she has a point of information.